That's Juliana Hatfield from her new album, Lightning Might Strike. We found Juliana at home in Amherst, Massachusetts, a New England college town that was once home to Emily Dickinson. Juliana found that there are definite advantages to living where there are so many young people around.
I had a cord of wood delivered to my driveway. It was dumped up from a dump truck onto my driveway. And that's a lot of wood, chopped
Right.
wood. And a friend of mine had a friend whose son was in college out here, and I paid him to stack all my wood in the shed, which
Nice.
was great. It was really great that I didn't have to do it.
That's a definite plus. All right. So the new album is coming out any day now. Lightning Might Strike. How are you feeling about it all?
I feel good, really good about the album. I like it. I'm glad about how it turned out.
Oh, good. And you got a show coming up on the 14th, is that right?
Yeah, there's two shows on that one date, and that's all the shows I'm doing there's no tour. That's it. These
That's
two
it. All
shows
right.
in Harville, Massachusetts.
All right. What are those shows going to be like? Is it solo or are you playing with other folks or?
Playing with the two guys who played on the album, the bass player Ed Velasquez and the drummer Chris Anzalone, and just the three of us.
All right. And is it your choice to just do the two shows and that's it, or is there extenuating
Yeah.
circumstances?
Well, I did a 6 week tour. It ended about a year ago. And at the end of it, I was just so wiped out and in every way, and I mentally, physically, emotionally, and I felt I can't do this anymore. I mean, every tour that I do, I say I'm never going to do it again, but and then I keep doing it, but I feel like I really need to stop now. And so I feel as if I've retired from touring. There
Okay.
may be there may be a show here and there, but sometimes the one-offs are even harder than the tours, because to prepare for one show after having not played any in a while, it can be kind of difficult.
All right. So the album itself, from what I've read and what I've listened to, I've heard the album supposedly captures a period of change in your life. Um, is that accurate? And what kind of changes have you been going through lately, if that's the case?
I think it was more a period of upheaval.
Okay.
I left Cambridge, Massachusetts, and after living there for about 20 years, I think, and I moved 2 hours west of the city where I knew no one. Um, I wanted more space, but it was a little bit of an adjustment. I felt just the isolation was kind of um, a little overwhelming, and the quiet. And then I was also moving so I could be closer to a good friend of mine who lived up in southern New Hampshire, and we were going to start. Once I was out here, we were going to start looking at properties together, and the goal was that we would share a piece of land. He would have a house, I would have a house, so we could sort of help each other out, but be independent.
Right.
And and then as soon as I got out here to my new house, he died. He was sick, and he kept getting sicker and sicker. So it wasn't a total shock because we all knew that his health was really deteriorating. So that was really uh that was difficult to lose him, one of my favorite people, but also that was my kind of my future plan.
Uh,
And we were going to do this thing together. Um, and then my very soon after that, my 14-year-old dog died. And then soon after that, my mom was diagnosed with esophagus cancer. So
Geez.
it's not funny, but it's
No. But what else are you going to do?
yeah, I know. But so I mean, these are things that happen to people
Yes.
during the course of their lives. So I was depressed for a year, but during that time I was starting to work on writing these songs, and then started to work on recording them at home alone, and then adding bass and drums later on. But yeah, I was just writing about what I was going through as I was going through it, as a way to just process everything that I didn't know how to deal with, really.
Right. So is it therapeutic for you to write these songs and record them?
I think so. or it was just at least it was a way to talk about what was going on because I don't really in my day-to-day life I'm not really a very good communicator, and like I said out here I'm very isolated. I don't talk to very many people. I meeting more and more people, but um at first I was just like I'm not a sharer, you know.
Right?
Don't really have a support system out here at all, and so I wasn't talking about any of this stuff really. So for singing about it was a way for me just to get it out and to communicate, and that definitely felt good. I guess it was a kind of therapy for me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But you've chosen to kind of live in isolation, so there's that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to embrace my real nature, which is kind of a hermit. I'm kind of a loner, and um, yeah, I'm just kind of leaning into that,
Gotcha.
and that was part of why I wanted to get out of the city.
Yeah, you have a song called Harmonizing with Myself, which kind of uh,
Yeah.
touches on that a little bit, doesn't it? Do you want to tell me a little bit about the song itself, how it came about?
Yeah, well, the song is about it's really about being alone, living alone, maybe with a dog or two, and just making music and this sort of quiet, isolated life. And it's what has come to feel the most natural for me. And the music is the subject of the song. The music that I make is really it's really a companion to me in a way, and it's also a way for me to um, get through life. It helps me to get through difficult periods. It helps me to communicate. So when I harmonize with myself, it's a metaphor in that the music is with me all the time. But I also love when I'm recording. I love to stack harmonies, layered harmonies. I love that, like the kind that ELO does. It's like I think I have a knack for that, just like stacking the harmonies under the melodies, and that's just like that's the funnest, maybe the funnest part of recording and writing for me is the harmonizing with myself.
Ah, well, that explains the ELO cover album you did, I guess.
Yeah, that was part of it. Yeah, the way that Jeff Lynne's voice, tons and tons of Jeff Lynne. It's just such a soothing, wonderful sound.
So much Jeff Lynne.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't like him, that's a problem. But I love his voice,
Right?
so the more, the better for me, from
All
my
right.
perspective.
I,
Yeah,
I kind of got tired of him after El Dorado. I liked El Dorado, and then
I understand. I understand. I have a friend who can't stand yellow, and um, I just we just agree to disagree. You know,
that's what you got to do. People
what?
don't seem to be able to do that anymore. Agree to disagree.
It's
They just want to, attack
no,
each other.
no. It's that's encouraged. I think people the the world we live in it encourages people to attack one another. It's somehow someone's making money off of that.
Yeah, I think
Somehow
you're right.
someone's making money off of people fighting with each other. You know, like reality shows. People love to watch that, the
Yeah.
fights. Someone's making a lot of money off
Yeah.
fighting.
And I think I read that you're planning an REM as your next bunch of songs to cover. Is that correct?
It's a tentative plan. I
Tentative.
haven't.
All right. We don't want to commit to anything.
Yeah.
What would it be about the REM catalog that appeals to you that you want to dive into?
What does one like about R.E.M? There's so much to like, and it's hard to. I think it's really that very early stuff, the first EP, and then Chronic Town, and
Right?
then first album, Murmur.
Murmur.
Those are
Yep.
yeah, they were really important albums in my life and in my development as a musician. They gave me a lot of confidence that I could do I could do my own weird thing too. You know, they were a little weirder in the beginning, just the words that we couldn't all understand and the simplicity of it. I would play along to Peter Buck's guitar parts
Uh-huh.
and I realized maybe for the first time that wow, I could do this too. Like what he their music sounded magical, but when you actually get down to the bones of it, you realizing that I could I could play those chords myself, it was kind of a revelation. Like, wow, that's not actually magic. I can actually do this myself. So
Right?
it gave me a lot of confidence and inspiration.
Nice, nice. So you've been making music for 30 plus years now. Are you making it for the same reasons now as when you started out, do you think?
I think I am. Well, yes and no. In the beginning, when I was in my band, the Blake Babies,
Right?
I really thought that we were the most important band in the world, and that the world needed to hear us, and the world was going to fall in love with us, and we were going to blow everyone's minds, and like we were messengers of this wonderful, new, important um, message in music. And but I don't really. I mean, that didn't really exactly happen. We didn't really explode the world,
Right?
but
But if
not.
you're a starting out band, isn't that the attitude you have to have?
Yes. Yeah, and I think it's a little bit of delusion. You need to have a little bit of delusion about your powers in order to have the confidence to even do it in the first place.
Yep, yep.
So yeah, we really believed in it. Um, and then when the band kind of fell apart a few years later, I went solo. Um, I think at that point already I was just like, I just have to do my work. It's all about the work. I can't control anything else. I can't control how my music is received. I can't control how popular it gets. All I can do, all I have the power to do is make the music. And so that's my mission, was just to keep making music the way I wanted to, and not to let anyone change um what I was trying to do in ways that felt unnatural to me,
Hmm.
or or wrong, ethically wrong or something.
Has anyone ever tried to make you go, maybe you should just try this instead or that, and you'll sell more
Yeah.
records if you did this?
Well, no one really, to the credit of the major label that I was on and the ones that I talked to, no one ever said to my face, "Look, you should do this. We want you to do this." I mean, for my major label debut, Become What You Are, um, the label never really had any notes. They knew my producer was good. It was actually R.E.M's producer, Scott Litt.
Got lit. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, kind of a dream producer for me. And I knew that his Scott Litt's style was not to overwhelm the band with some production vision or sound. It was like he did that I think it was the last Replacements record too. All Shook Down was
Oh, right.
called a Replacements record.
Yeah.
Um, so I knew that my music would be okay, it would be safe with him. And so yeah, no one really ever to my face told me, take your clothes off, show your body, make your songs more slick or more palatable to the masses. No one, everyone else kind of let me do my thing. Um, but I mean, there were producers I worked with. There was a guy called, his name was David Kahn,
Oh, yep.
Kahne.
Worked with the
Um,
Bangles, didn't he?
yeah, and lots of other people. He worked with Sublime, Paul McCartney.
Yep.
Kelly Clarkson. Basically, he's worked with probably anyone you could ever think of. He was a major producer. Had a lot of hits, a lot of people, and he was like kind of interested in me from way back in the Blake Babies days. He was always kind of like sniffing around, and interested in what he could do with first with the Blake Babies, and then later with me after the Blake Babies broke up. He produced some Blake Babies demos actually.
Oh, cool.
Um, but the other two people in the band, John and Frida, they didn't like working with him as much as I did. They thought that David was trying to change us into something different than what we were. He was I think they thought he was trying to make us more slick and commercial, but I kind of saw past that to I thought that David was trying to make our sound and our songs just better, and sort of more. He was making more of them than they maybe could have been on their own, but in a good way. I thought
Right.
so. I wanted, that was part of why the Blake Babies broke up, not because of David, but because I kind of wanted to go, I wanted to explore more with my songs and my sound. But I think John and Frida were kind of content to be on the road we were on
Right.
creatively.
Gotcha.
But I wanted to experiment creatively and sound wise. And then I did a bunch of demos with David over the years. And and he was when I left Atlantic Records, I think he was doing A&R for another major label, and he was like possibly thinking of maybe signing me, but that never happened. So we did more demos around then. But it yeah, and then he mixed a song from my album, How to Walk Away later. The song called Shining On. He did a great job with that mix. He's just really talented.
All right. All right. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about popsicle. And the reasons being, I have a grandson who's 3 years old. Every time he comes over, he has to have a popsicle. So
Uh-huh.
he would be listening to the song. But and I'm sure he isn't the target audience for why you wrote it or whatever. But that doesn't matter to him. But from what I can understand and from listening to it, it's kind of more internal about yourself. Is that correct?
Popsicle drip, drip. Popsicle drip, drip. Popsicle drip, drip, drip. Popsicle. I can't eat, my stomach hurts. Ooh, I got no love even for dessert.
Yeah, it's kind of it's pretty grim actually.
Uh-oh.
There's a line that says, "My hopes and dreams are in decline, melting slowly like my mind."
Right.
And um, yeah, somehow I ended. I don't know. I just wanted, but I wanted to write something fun and really catchy. So I thought, oh, popsicle. How like catchy and fun is that? That's perfect. But then I have this twisted sense of humor, and I have to write about all the dark thoughts I'm having about where I am in my life. Like all disappointments and my things that never came to pass that I was hoping um would come to pass. So yeah, I think it's funny putting dark subject matter in really fun, pretty,
Right.
poppy, catchy songs. That's just kind of I feel that's kind of
That's
like
your
my
thing,
shtick.
isn't it?
Yeah, that's my shtick. Without planning to do that, it just always happens. I can't just write a happy song. I have to make it dark.
Right. So do you have a constant stream of these inner conversations going on in your head that you kind of have to process somehow?
About um how my life is
Well, I
dark.
don't know what they're about. I hope they're not all
You just
like that.
what I'm talking about in the songs?
Yeah,
No, I mean I get a lot of it out through my music. I'm not walking around sad and gloomy all the time. Enjoy I enjoy a lot of my life, you know, and
right.
nature and books and things. I no, I'm not really too self-involved, I guess,
Okay.
except when I'm writing.
Right. Then do you have to kind of go to a different place? Do you have, when you write, is it I'm sitting down, I'm writing, or are you kind of constantly jotting things down throughout your day?
It's kind of both. I have a lot of notebooks filled with ideas all over the place. But when I really hunker down to put whole songs together, I'm very focused. And so it becomes a gathering of all the pieces and trying to focus on making whole songs.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
And your sound is, I mean, these days, the 90s is kind of everybody's kind of nostalgia thing going on. Everybody loves the 90s at the moment. And do you feel nostalgic about that time and about music in general?
Not at all. No, I was so miserable in the 90s. Personally, I was just very miserable. Um, I had emotional problems. I was struggling a lot with that. I mean, some of it was really great and getting to work with great people like Scott Litt and a lot of other people, David Kahn. It was great working with a lot of various people. That was great. And playing to big crowds was fun.
Right?
But in terms of like, would I want to go back? No. I think the fashions were horrible in the 90s. I do think there were a lot of really good songs produced then. I was in my car yesterday and Semi Charmed Life came on by
Right?
Red Blonde. I was like, I loved that song, and I heard it again. I'm like, this is still a really like banging song.
Right?
This song is so good. I just love it. It's so good. I mean, the way it was constructed, it's just like kind of a perfect song in a way, I guess. I don't know, a lot of people had weird, bad feelings about that band or that singer, but that song is just like it works so well.
And he's
And there were a lot of other a lot of really interesting songs that came out in the 90s.
sure.
Just big bands being quirky and doing their own weird original thing.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
well, I just joined a choir and we're singing songs from the 90s, like from Radiohead and Smashing Pumpkins and all that. And then once you're actually singing these songs, you realize there's some pretty wild lyrics in this stuff that, you just they
Yeah,
just float past you on the radio. But when you're actually reading them, it's like,
I
whoa,
know. Yeah, and it seems like a lot of current music is a little bit like less challenging in those sorts of ways, I
right?
think. Maybe, I mean, that's a gross generalization.
Well, there's a lot of stuff out there and it's very difficult to find everything. And
That's part of it. Yeah, you kind of like it's not coming through the air at you like it was in the 90s. It's not on the radio, the radio that was the option in the band.
yep.
Um, every time we went to a new city, there would be a new radio station. Um, yeah, everything's so kind of like cordoned off from everything else now. You have to kind of go down rabbit holes all the time to find anything.
It's all about the algorithm.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you don't go down rabbit holes, you're sent down rabbit holes.
That's true.
Yeah.
You must have a few rabbit holes out in the sticks there where you are anyway.
Well, I have rabbits in my yard, yes.
Oh,
Chipmunks, not right now, but I've seen a couple bears walk by, possums, deer. Yeah.
that's the weird thing about New Zealand. No mammals are native to the country at all.
Oh, right. So
Just birds.
the sheep were brought over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everything is brought over. The only thing we have is birds here that are native.
Really? I would love to see some New Zealand birds.
We
I'll
got
go
some
check
cool
it out.
ones. I highly
Yeah.
recommend the Tui. Check
The
it out.
two.
It
Okay.
has a beautiful
Oh
song
yeah.
and it has a
Rufus.
little
Wait, it's not the Toei?
no
Ruf-
Tui, I believe it's spelled.
Okay,
Tui.
because we have a rufous-sided Toei. I think
Oh,
here. I think it's called a rufous-sided Toei.
no, I think it's native to New Zealand, but
Okay.
it's it's pretty cool. And we have like alpine parrots and things that are flightless and wander around and chase people around and eat all their trash.
Ah,
Fascinating. So yeah, come
cool.
on down if you get a chance. Do a couple of shows.
Hope maybe. I mean,
You
now
can
that
write
I'm
it off in your taxes then.
right. Yeah.
But thank you for talking to me about all this. I've really enjoyed the album. So
Thank you. Thank you
hopefully
for
hopefully your shows will go well.
yeah.
Do a few more.
Determined to have fun.
If you enjoyed this episode of the 13th Floor's Music Talk series, please be sure to subscribe to the website or to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram and wherever you find your podcasts. There's a whole lot more to discover.